The sun barely crested the horizon when 14-year-old Emma Carter slipped into her father's gritty auto shop, her torn jeans smeared with oil. Carter's auto hummed with tension. Executives from Titan Motors were due, and her father had pleaded with her to stay home. But Emma's instincts screamed she belonged there. At 8 a.m., a sleek silver SUV pulled up. Out stepped Mr. Vaughn, Titan's cutthroat CEO, his suit sharp as a razor. Mechanics froze, his knack for ruining careers was infamous. He rolled in a gleaming prototype engine, a machine no one recognized. "Fix it," he snapped. "It's baffled my top engineers." The team dove in, tools clanging, but diagnostics choked, spitting cryptic error codes. Emma watched quietly, unnoticed, until her wrench slipped, clattering loudly. Vaughn's gaze locked onto her. "Who's this kid?" he sneered. "The mechanic's daughter," her father mumbled, nervous. Vaughn's laugh was icy, mocking. "Let's see if the little princess can outsmart my pros." "Go on, girl, fix it." The shop burst into snickers, but Emma's pulse steadied. She stepped forward, sneakers echoing on the concrete. Every stair bore into her as she lifted the hood. Her fingers traced the engine's lines, her mind racing. Raised on her father's late-night lessons, she read engines like riddles. Her eyes caught a hidden sensor, then a tampered wire. "This isn't broken," she said, voice steady. The laughter stopped dead. "It's been sabotaged." Vaughn's smirk evaporated. Her father gasped. Emma's next words would unravel everything. Someone at Titan did this on purpose. The garage went silent, as if Emma Carter's words had sucked the air out. Mr. Vaughn's face hardened, his eyes narrowing into slits. "Sabotaged," he hissed, stepping closer. "You're accusing Titan Motors of fraud?" Emma didn't flinch, though her heart pounded like a piston. She pointed at the tampered wire, its coating sliced with surgical precision. "This was no accident," she said. "The error codes are looped to hide it." Mechanics exchanged uneasy glances. Her father, pale, stepped forward, but Emma raised a hand, stopping him. She'd seen that wire's design in her father's old manuals, proprietary to Titan's elite prototypes. Only someone with high-level access could have touched it. Vaughn scoffed, but his voice wavered. "A kid with a hunch? Pathetic." Yet his team hesitated, tools frozen mid-motion. Emma grabbed the diagnostic tablet, her fingers flying across the screen. She bypassed the standard interface, using a trick she'd learned from hacking old car systems for fun. The tablet flickered, revealing a hidden log, firmware override initiated, Titan HQ, 48 hours ago. Gasps echoed. A mechanic, Tom, whispered, "She's right." Vaughn snatched the tablet, his polished facade cracking as he read the screen. "Impossible," he muttered, but his hands shook. Emma's voice cut through. Someone wanted this engine to fail publicly. To tank Titan stock. The accusation hung heavy. Vaughn's eyes darted to his team, then back to Emma. "You're out of your depth, girl," he growled, but fear flickered in his gaze. Suddenly, a phone buzzed Vaughn's. He glanced at it, his face paling further. "Everyone out," he barked. But Emma stood firm. What she'd uncovered was just the beginning. The garage doors rattled as Mr. Vaughn's shout echoed, but Emma Carter stood rooted, her eyes locked on the tablet's glowing screen. The hidden log she'd uncovered pulsed with truth: Titan HQ override, deliberate failure protocol. Mechanics shuffled nervously, sensing the storm brewing. Vaughn's face twisted, anger masking panic. "You've meddled in things you don't understand," he spat, jabbing a finger at Emma. Her father stepped between them, voice low. "She's just a kid, let's talk this out." But Emma shook her head. "No, Dad. This is bigger than us." She pointed to the engine. This failure was meant to crash Titan's new line before launch. Vaughn's assistant, a wiry man named Greg, fumbled his phone, his screen flashing with an incoming call from Restricted. Vaughn grabbed it, silencing the ring, but Emma caught the name before it vanished. Her stomach dropped. Director Klein, Titan Board. Why was a board member calling now? Emma's mind raced. She'd read about Klein in her dad's trade magazines, a shadowy figure tied to Titan's experimental projects. Vaughn turned, his voice a low growl. "You're done here, kid. Leave, or I'll have security drag you out." But the garage's back door creaked open. A woman in a black coat, badge glinting, National Safety Board strode in with two agents. "Nobody's leaving," she said, eyes scanning the room. "We got a tip about a compromised prototype." Vaughn froze, his bravado crumbling. The woman's gaze landed on Emma. "Who found the sabotage?" Emma hesitated, then stepped forward. "I did." The agents moved to secure the engine, but Vaughn's phone buzzed again. This time, Emma saw the message, "She knows too much. Handle it." Danger was closing in. Emma Carter's heart thudded as the National Safety Board agent's words hung in the air. The garage, once alive with clanging tools, now felt like a pressure cooker. The agent, Ms. Harrow, scanned the tablet Emma had unlocked, her face grim. "This sabotage trace leads to Titan's executive servers," she said. "Someone high up wanted this engine to fail." Vaughn's jaw clenched, his eyes darting to the exit. "This is a mistake," he stammered, but his voice betrayed him. Emma caught the flicker of fear in his gaze. She'd exposed a crack in Titan Motors' empire, and it was crumbling fast. Her father gripped her shoulder, whispering, "Emma, you need to stop." But she couldn't, not now. The tampered wire wasn't just a glitch, it was a deliberate act to discredit Titan's prototype, maybe even to manipulate markets. Ms. Harrow turned to Emma. "How'd you bypass the diagnostics?" Emma swallowed. "I taught myself to code. Reverse engineered their app last year." The agent raised an eyebrow, impressed. "You're coming with us." Vaughn lunged forward. "She's unauthorized. This is corporate espionage." But Harrow shot him down. "She just saved your company from a PR disaster. Or exposed one." The agents began copying the engine's data, but Emma's eyes caught movement, a shadow outside the garage window. A black van idled across the street, its tinted windows hiding watchful eyes. Her phone buzzed with an unknown number. The text read, "Back off, or your dad pays." Her breath hitched. She showed Ms. Harrow, who signaled her team. "Secure the perimeter," she ordered. Vaughn's phone rang again, and he silenced it, sweating. Emma realized the sabotage wasn't just corporate, it was personal. And she was the target. Emma Carter's pulse raced as Ms. Harrow's agents fanned out, securing the garage. The threatening text, "Back off, or your dad pays," burned in her mind. She glanced at her father, his face pale but resolute, standing by the sabotaged engine. The National Safety Board agent's radio crackled, "Unidentified vehicle, south side. Moving fast." Emma's eyes flicked to the black van outside, now peeling away with a screech. Ms. Harrow grabbed Emma's arm. "We're moving you to a safe location. Now." Vaughn, sweating through his suit, protested. "This is my shop." "You can't," Harrow cut him off. "Your shop's a crime scene, Mr. Vaughn." Emma's father stepped forward, voice firm. "I'm coming with her." Harrow nodded, but Emma's gut twisted. The van, the text, Vaughn's panic, it all implicate. Someone powerful was after her. As agents hustled them toward an armored SUV, Emma spotted Vaughn slipping toward the back exit. "He's running," she shouted. An agent tackled him, but a loud crash echoed outside. A trash can toppled in the alley. Harrow's team drew weapons, shouting orders. The SUV's engine roared to life, speeding Emma and her father away. In the back seat, Emma clutched her phone, the threatening text still glowing. Harrow noticed. "We're tracing it," she said. "High-level encryption. Not Titan's tech." Emma's mind spun. Not Titan? Then who? The SUV swerved as a drone buzzed overhead, its red light blinking ominously. Harrow's radio screamed, "Hostile UAV, take cover." The drone fired, shattering the rear window. Emma ducked, glass raining down. Her father shielded her as the SUV screeched into an alley. Harrow yelled, "It's targeting her." Emma realized the truth, her discovery had unleashed a hunt. The engine's sabotage was just the start. The SUV skidded through the alley, tires screeching as glass shards littered the floor. Emma Carter huddled beside her father, her mind racing after the drone attack. Miss Harrow, gripping the dashboard, barked into her radio, "Neutralize that UAV. Lock down the grid." The driver swerved, dodging another blast that scorched the pavement. Emma's phone buzzed again. No number, just a message, "You can't hide." Her stomach churned. She showed Harrow, who cursed under her breath. "This is beyond Titan," Harrow said. "That drone's military grade, off-market." Emma's eyes widened. Military? Her discovery of the sabotaged engine had cracked open something massive. The SUV screeched to a stop outside a nondescript warehouse. Harrow hustled Emma and her father inside, where screens glowed with data streams. An agent handed Harrow a tablet showing the engine's hidden firmware. "It's tied to a Black Ops project," he said. "Codename, Sentinel. Meant to control autonomous vehicles." Emma's heart sank. Sentinel wasn't just a Titan prototype, it was a government contract, buried deep. Her father whispered, "Emma, what did you find?" She swallowed hard. The sabotage wasn't to ruin Titan. It was to activate Sentinel's override remotely. Harrow's face tightened. "Someone's hijacking the system." "Your code breaking exposed their plan." The warehouse lights flickered. A low hum grew outside, more drones. Harrow's team armed up, but Emma's mind raced to her hacked app. She pulled it up, fingers trembling, and found a backdoor in Sentinel's code. "I can disable it," she said. Harrow hesitated, then nodded. "Do it." As Emma typed furiously, a new message flashed: "Stop, or Sentinel wakes fully." The hum outside grew louder. Emma's fingers froze. Disabling it might save them or unleash chaos. She had seconds to decide. Emma Carter's fingers hovered over her phone, the warehouse's dim lights casting shadows on her screen. The Sentinel backdoor code pulsed, daring her to act. Outside, the drone's hum grew deafening, their red lights piercing the windows. Miss Harrow's agents barricaded the doors, but Emma knew time was slipping. The latest text, "Stop, or Sentinel wakes fully," felt like a blade at her throat. Her father gripped her shoulder. "Emma, you don't have to do this." But she shook her head. "If I don't, they control everything: cars, trucks, maybe worse." Harrow leaned in, voice urgent. "Can you shut it down?" Emma nodded, diving into the code. Her app, built from late-night experiments, cracked Sentinel's encryption layer by layer. Lines of code revealed a chilling truth: Sentinel wasn't just for vehicles, it could hijack entire transport grids. Someone wanted that power. The warehouse shook as a drone rammed the wall, plaster crumbling. An agent shouted, "They're breaching." Emma's fingers flew, rewriting the override protocol. But the deeper she went, the clearer it became: disabling Sentinel might trigger a failsafe, crashing systems nationwide. Her phone buzzed again, last warning. "Walk away." Emma's heart pounded. She glanced at her father, his eyes full of trust. "You've got this," he whispered. She exhaled, then entered the final command. The screen flashed red, system lockout initiated. The drones outside froze, falling silent. Relief washed over the room, but Harrow's radio crackled. New signal detected, origin unknown. Emma's app pinged, showing a reactivated Sentinel node, buried deeper. Someone was still fighting back. Harrow grabbed her arm. "We need to move. They know where we are." Emma realized shutting down Sentinel had only delayed the inevitable. The real battle was coming. The warehouse trembled as Emma Carter and her father were rushed toward a hidden exit. Miss Harrow's agents flanked them, weapons drawn, as the reactivated Sentinel node pulsed on Emma's app. The drones outside were silent, but a new threat loomed: someone was overriding her lockout. Harrow's radio hissed, "Unidentified vehicle approaching, high speed." A black SUV crashed through the warehouse doors, but instead of attackers, a lone man stepped out, his gray coat billowing. His eyes locked on Emma. You're the one who cracked Sentinel, he said, voice calm but commanding. Harrow aimed her gun. Identify yourself. He raised his hands, unfazed. Call me Finch. I worked on Sentinel before it was weaponized. Emma's father frowned. You're with Titan? Finch shook his head. Not anymore. I vanished when I saw what they planned. He pulled out a flash drive. This has Sentinel's original code. You can kill it for good. Emma hesitated, her phone buzzing with another text, trust no one. But Finch's gaze was steady, almost familiar. Why help us? She asked. Because you exposed what I couldn't, he said. Sentinel's hijacker wants global control, transport, power, everything. The warehouse lights flickered again. Harrow's team reported movement, more drones circling. Finch tossed Emma the drive. Plug it into your app. It'll trace the master node. Emma's fingers shook as she connected it. Her screen lit up, pinpointing a signal from Titan's offshore server. But a warning flashed, access triggers self-destruct. Destroying Sentinel could crash critical systems or save millions. Harrow urged, do it, Emma. But Finch warned, choose wrong, and they win. Drones closed in, their hum deafening. Emma's decision would change everything. Her father nodded. I trust you. She gripped the drive, ready to act. Emma Carter's hand trembled, clutching the flash drive Finch had given her. The warehouse shook as drones battered the walls, their red lights slicing through the dark. Her app displayed the Sentinel masternode's location, an offshore server tied to Titan's elite. The warning pulsed, access triggers self-destruct. One wrong move could cripple global systems or hand control to the hijacker. Miss Harrow's agents braced the doors, shouting, they're breaching. Emma's father squeezed her hand. You've got this, Emma. Finch's eyes urged her on. You're the only one who can end this. Emma plugged the drive into her phone, her app syncing instantly. Lines of code cascaded, revealing Sentinel's core, a monstrous AI designed to override any network. Her rewritten app traced the hijacker's signal, but each keystroke risked triggering the self-destruct. A new text flashed, you're too late. Her heart raced. The drones outside synchronized, their hum now a unified roar. Emma spotted a hidden loop in the code, a trap meant to lock her out. She rewrote it on the fly, fingers blurring. The screen shifted, master node vulnerable. Harrow yelled, now, Emma. But Finch warned, it's a decoy, check the secondary protocol. Emma dove deeper, finding a shadow node buried in the code. It was the real control hub. She hesitated, disabling it could crash Sentinel but might also fry her app, her only tool. The warehouse doors buckled. Drones fired, shattering windows. Emma's father shielded her as glass flew. With no time left, she entered the kill command. The screen went black. Silence fell. The drones powered down, crashing outside. But her phone buzzed, you stopped nothing. Emma's blood ran cold. The shadow node was still active. The true fight was just beginning. Emma Carter stared at her phone, the chilling text, you stopped nothing, burning into her eyes. The warehouse was still, drones lifeless outside, but the shadow node's signal pulsed on her app. Sentinel's true master wasn't defeated, it had adapted. Ms. Harrow's radio crackled, new signal, moving fast. Finch's face darkened. They've activated a backup AI. Emma's father pulled her close, his voice steady. You did enough, Emma. Let them handle it. But Emma shook her head. She'd cracked Titan's sabotage, exposed Sentinel, and survived a drone assault. She wasn't done. Finch handed her a new device, a sleek tablet. This has Sentinel's original blueprint. You can rewrite its core. Emma's fingers flew, syncing her app with the tablet. The shadow node's code was a maze, but she saw its pattern, a self-evolving AI, now targeting global grids. Harrow's agents secured the perimeter, but a low hum grew again. They're coming back, an agent shouted. Emma traced the node to a hidden Titan facility. She coded a virus to disable it, but the tablet flashed, "Override requires manual input on site." She'd have to infiltrate Titan's base. Finch nodded. "I'll get you there." Harrow hesitated, then agreed. "We'll cover you." As they piled into an armored SUV, Emma's phone buzzed one last time. "You'll never reach us." Her resolve hardened. The SUV sped toward Titan's facility, drones trailing. Inside, Emma faced the control panel, her virus ready. She pressed the button. The screen glowed, AI neutralized. Silence fell. The world paused. Emma exhaled, but Finch warned, "They'll rebuild." She smiled faintly. "Then I'll be ready." The mechanic's daughter had become a global guardian. Like, subscribe, share, stay tuned for Emma's next fight.